I'm going to run back downstairs, shut the breaker off, and I'm going to mark this so that I know that that is the black wire. That's the hot that's going to be feeding my new wall switch or wall timer. Okay, at this point, here we go. We've got the wall timer wired in. You can see that I create a little bit of a mess here, but in order to access all the wiring and to get everything to fit snugly back in the box, I had to remove a couple of switches to get them out of my way so I could get back to the wiring. For instance, this wire right here, which is your neutral bundle, I don't know if you can see that, but you've got all your neutrals bundled together and you have to tie your white wire into that bundle. Alright, so you're going to have to move stuff out of the way. And as you can see here, I have the black wire tied into the hot wire that's coming to the panel, from the panel. I have the red wire tied to the black wire that goes out to the light, and then I have the green wire tied to the bare copper wire, which is your grounding wire. So at this point you would think that you would put this all back together and everything would be hunky-dory, but I suggest that you turn the power on and test this before you go through the trouble of getting everything all nice and tucked back in. Put your new cover plate on, which you have to buy. I'll show you the new cover plate. Get all that together and find out that you may have a problem. So at this point, I'm going to run down, turn the circuit breaker back on. I'm going to verify that this light switch does actually energize and de-energize the outside porch light. And then at that point, if everything works, go back, shut the power off, come back up, verify the power's off, and then neatly tuck all the wiring back into the box, put the cover plate on, and see how everything turns out. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to go verify right now. I'm going to go downstairs, turn that breaker back on. We've just turned that breaker back on. Now's the time to test it. Hey, we have power to this light. Let me check outside, see if the light came back on. We do have a light outside. So at this point it appears everything's okay. So I'm going to go de-energize that box, or excuse me, that breaker. Come back in, put everything nice and neatly back in here, and we'll go through the results. I'm not sure if I'm going to get into showing you how to program this, but it's all in the instruction manual. It's very easy to follow, but we'll get into that later on. Okay, so let's shut that breaker down. Okay, here is the finished product. A couple of things I didn't mention. First of all, you've got to buy a new wall plate, and I believe this rectangular shape is called the Deco style. So you can buy these at any big box store. You may have a problem when you're adding 3 switches to this. You may have to go to an electrical supply house to pick that up. The other thing is, if you want to turn the light on and off manually, you just hit that little button right there and it turns it off and on. The other thing is, you can program it here and just let the whole thing run by itself, which is what I've always done. Once I program it, I walk away basically. So there you go with that. I may have called this brand a Utilitech. It's really a Utilitech. Let me get this focused in here, and if I can get it to focus at all. But there it is, Utilitech 0141224. Alright, and I apologize if I had continually called it a Utilitech. Alright, so anyway, there it is. I'm very pleased with the product, and like I had mentioned before, I think it's a pretty handsome looking unit when you get all done with it. You just have to be real careful when you tuck those wires in. Just make sure you don't squish anything or you know, put pressure against the back of the switches with the wiring. Okay, so that's it. I want to thank you guys for watching, and if you have any comments, please leave them below. Thank you very much.